The unexpected flop of Lazarbeam's video game. Yeah, let's see it.
People thought Lazarbeam's video game could be the next Fortnite, but with only 10 people playing at any one time, and comments calling it the worst game I've installed, something clearly went wrong. It all began with this tweet here. I am making a game. I ain't telling you anything yet. The most liked response gets a skin in the game. Wishlist the game on Steam so you can test it with us. Mr. Fresh Asian had made a similar tweet, attaching a short trailer giving their fans a sneak peek.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your new world boss.
Screenshots on Steam showed
Why does this look like it was made in Roblox?
graphics like Fortnite, which made total sense, as this is what they're combined over 30 million
30 million subscribers? That means that the game has to have some sort of player count. I mean, they have 30 million people advertising to this game. If it flops, it just actually sucks. Because in my opinion, if you have 30 million subscribers and you promote the video game, it's gonna do well, even if it sucks.
followers already played and naturally enjoyed.
World boss, guys. Blannon and I love this game. We've been working on it for a while. Definitely come test it with us.
Can't wait for this game. Looks like lots of fun. Hyped for the game, can't wait.
If the game sucks, it sucks. But at the end of the day, it's gonna do well because they have 30 million people that they're advertising to.
This game is about to be the new Fortnite. Additionally, it was being developed by Australia's largest video game developer, who'd clearly done an incredible job when they'd finally released the open beta. Players found it to be a mix of Fortnite and TF2. Players are dropped into an arena and have to kill other players to move up the ranks. Upon reaching first place, you're given the role of world boss, who has extra health and armor, although everybody now knows your location.
It sounds pretty good. Doesn't sound that bad. I mean, if a lot of people enjoyed the game, then why did it do bad?
The gameplay showcase gained 200,000 views, implying loads of people would be rushing to install.
And it's free to play also, so that means everybody's gonna be downloading it and trying to get out. If there's a free to play game, you're gonna install it either way. But if it's like $20, there might be a little risk that you're not gonna install it.
Naturally, Lazarbeam and Fresh also began to promote the game. Fresh posted 2 dedicated videos.
Wow, 1.8 million views and 1.4 million views. That's going to do so much advertising to the game.
Totaling north of 3 million views, whilst Lazarbeam filmed the game with Lachlan before officially promoting the game's release. I spent 365 days.
5.2 million views. I mean, if the game flops, it just has to suck. Because it has all the advertising, even think about it. I mean, 5.2 million people saw this game and saw their favorite content creator play it and have fun on it. So they had to download it, and it's free. So I just don't understand how this game flopped.
Making a game.
All right, that's well, boss. Obviously, it's still early access on Steam, but try it out. Give us your feedback.
Having added another 5 million views worth of exposure, the game seemed guaranteed at least moderate success.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the game had to get some sort of success. If your product sucks and you have 10 million people watching it or seeing what it looks like, it has to do kind of well.
Comments read, since you guys are popular, you guys will instantly have a popular game, although for whatever reason, this simply didn't happen. Despite almost 10 million viewers learning about the free game, it achieved an opening peak of just a little over 1,000 players.
Wow. Dude, that's really bad. The reason why is probably because 3/4 of Lazarbeam's subscribers and viewers are children, and they probably don't have access to Steam. They probably have only access to Xbox and PlayStation. Out of 10 million people, only 1,300 players were on it.
The month after it was 800, then 300 the month after that, showing that the game clearly had some problems. Of the hundreds of negative Steam reviews, most mentioned the game's poor graphical performance. One user wrote, "This just feels like a laggy Roblox/Fortnite clone. I can only run 45 FPS on an RTX 3080.
Yeah, if your game is not optimized, that can actually destroy it. Because even if you have an RTX 3080 and you're rocking 45 FPS, imagine someone with a 1660. They're probably rocking like 10 FPS. That's how you know your game cannot be even played.
Other said I have an RTX 2080 and I get 40 to 60 FPS when fighting, lowest settings. The game is not optimized at
Yeah, that means if you're the average gamer, you can't even enjoy the game. You can't even play it. How can you play a game that's not even playable?
all. Getting terrible FPS was a universal problem, as was the game's constant unexpected crashes. The game's early problems were best summarized here.
No, you could have one of the best games in the world, but if it's poorly optimized and it crashes every 5 seconds, you're not gonna play it. If you play Fortnite and it crashed every single game and you rock 40 FPS, you would uninstall Fortnite so fast. So even if this game was a 10 out of 10 game, it would still fail.
I mean, it's pretty fun, but it needs a shit ton of work done to it. There are so many bugs that are real easy to fix. You guys should have done more work to it before release. These reviews were acknowledged and rectified.
We got mixed reviews on Steam because the game kept crashing, but we fixed it.
However, later in the video, Lazarbeam experienced more bugs of his own.
My RPGs aren't firing? Look away, look away, look away.
Joking that the game is perfect and nothing is broken. Despite this, the game was now crashing less frequently.
I mean, even if the person that's promoting the video game, even if his game crashes, that's a problem, dude. That's really showing that how much he cares about this video game.
Which should have helped it retain a player base, judging by reviews such as it'll be a good game once they fix all the technical...
See, these are all positive, like, reviews. I mean, it's people saying the game will be good, but it's not good right now. Because it's his fans that are playing it, right? But if he didn't have a fan base, this game would have never have taken off at all. And that's the problem, right? He literally just produced trash. And he sent all his fans to a video game, and it did terrible.
Issues and bugs. However, even after these problems were solved, World Boss was still rapidly bleeding players, as the gameplay itself also had many issues. It gets boring quickly, and I don't get anything out of the gameplay. This game gets boring way too easily. The gameplay is somewhat okay at first, but gets repetitive quickly. Sadly, the game seemed to lack any meaningful variety, with the official Twitter page even joking, "My favorite thing about World Boss is probably how unique of a game it is." I mean, how often have you seen guns in a video game? Guns, truly pushing boundaries. The game lacked meaningful objective.
Why are they going with the hate? Why are they not going against it and like fixing it and maybe adding a new game mode, objective, skins, a battle pass, things to grind for?
Or worthwhile goals to work toward. Becoming World Boss was the only primary target.
The objective was really to just be World Boss and just have an HP buff, and that's it.
And people complained that even this was too difficult to be fun. 99.99% of games you join are almost 15 plus minutes in, and you spawn with over 500% less health than every other player. I spawned in with 1000 health. The World Boss, who's supposed to be the best, has over 7.5k health. What a legit joke. To put me in 5 straight games at level 1, when the World Boss and 4 plus other players are level 15 plus.
Oh, I think he's meaning that if you're a higher level, you have more HP? That's so stupid.
With 5 to 10x my health is laughable. As a result, players completely ignored the World Boss and just tried to fight each other.
Instead of everybody teaming up to take down the World Boss, people would just avoid fighting the World Boss altogether and just keep fighting amongst themselves to level up.
Which kind of made it a mediocre shooter with no real advantage over other similar games. Another issue was that the mechanics weren't intuitive. For example, when Fortnite was first released, you could watch someone play it for less than 5 minutes and have a decent understanding of the entire concept. With World Boss, however, even after watching many different videos and playing multiple rounds yourself, the concept and objectives are still pretty foggy. It seems the only thing that did work well was the World Boss in-game item.
Yeah. Of course, they have the game being really not well done, but they have to have skins. They have to have skins that probably cost money that probably you could not get legitly.
Shop.
Despite the fact that the game launched in a broken and unfinished state, it had full-on microtransactions.
That's so awful, dude. That's so bad. First week of launch, they have already microtransactions.
On day one.
Good to know that despite the terrible condition this game is in, they prioritized adding microtransactions over playability. Obviously, this wasn't really fresh and
And this looks so bad on their part because they're literally promoting slop. they're promoting something so bad, even their diehard fans don't even like. You have millions of fans that will literally support you for anything you release or anything that you produce, right? And then you release this video game, it's really bad. You release it to all these fans and they all hate it. And they try so hard to like it. You have all these great cards and you just mess them all up, in my opinion.
Lazer's fault. However, their promotional activities weren't perfect either. For example, when World Boss first came out, Fresh hadn't made a video in more than half a year, and returning specifically just to promote the game wasn't exactly the greatest look.
It sounds like they just want money. This sounds so bad, man. Like I like Fresh Lazarbeam, but in this position, if you don't come back for a whole 2 years or 1 year of making content, and you come back to literally just do an ad, that's awful in my opinion. That means he just came back to his YouTube channel to produce an ad.
The thing is, Fresh quit working on the game and quit gaming in general, and Lazarbeam just clearly gave up after that. Laser only ever made the one video about it, and perhaps sold it a little too casually for something they'd spent so much time on. 5 months after they opened early access, the game was down to 160 concurrent players, at which point Lazarbeam appeared on Impulsive. When the game came up in conversation, Lazarbeam talked about it being a difficult business.
What about World Boss?
That is cool. That is cool. Games are tough. Games are very tough. Games take years, and we're still developing it.
Mainly owing to extreme competition.
The response is really cool, and people really get behind it. But at the same time, when you're competing with Fortnite, you're competing with Call of Duty, you're competing with all these massive games. It is a process.
Like that's a yes and no in my opinion. I think he's saying an excuse. He's saying oh, I had to compete with Fortnite and Call of Duty, so it failed. Your game failed because it was glitchy, laggy, and everything on that, in my opinion. If your game was not poorly optimized and it wasn't, repetitive, it would have been an extremely well done game. You cannot say, oh, Call of Duty and Fortnite are the biggest games, so I cannot make a game. That's the stupidest thing, in my opinion. If you have an idea to make a video game, make it and do it right. Don't just produce it to produce it.
Process to compete. I think the base of the game is great and we're getting there. It's just, with gaming, it's just so hard to just nail it.
Laser further added,
to get people addicted to playing your game is a very difficult task.
So hard.
So I can promote it as much as possible, but it's they're not gonna endlessly just play it because I say.
To make people play your game every single day, there's so many things. There's competitive mode, there's grinding you can do, you can grind for skins, weapons, battle passes, you can grind for so many things, but I feel like this video game had none of that. He even said, Sunny V2, he said after, gain the final boss or the final best thing in the game, there's nothing else to do. So the game gets boring so fast.
Say, hey,
yeah,
play the game.
With promoting a video game being extra hard, as you can't promote it in every upload like Feastables or Prime. Being unable to thrive without constant promotion, the World Boss player base only fell further. However, the game's full version release had the potential to bring it back to life. That announced that everything is changing in World Boss 1.0 with a brand new map and an actual objective in each game. Lazarbeam was hyped about the new updates, which had reignited the interest of over 100,000 people. However, again, for whatever reason, this simply didn't translate into
so bad, dude.
actual players. With the
Bro, probably Lazarbeam spent so much money making this game also. And it just flopped every single time. You could see how hard he tried. He made 4 videos in total. He got his friend out of retirement to go make a video on it, and it still flopped so badly. In my opinion, he should have got people to play test it. And then if it did really bad, right, he should just stop it, not talk about it for 6 months and really fix it.
Release barely making an impact. That very same month, PlaySide released their yearly financial report, announcing losses of 5.7 million.
That's why we're promoting it so much.
There is a risk that new title releases are not received in a positive manner by the market or generate the anticipated level of player engagement. This can lead to lower than expected revenue, possibly referring to World Boss. PlaySide therefore accepted that it couldn't be saved and completely stopped updating the game. The official
So he just went full ghost. He just freaking got rid of the whole entire game. He just stopped talking about it. That's so bad, man. That's so awful.
Twitter and Instagram were both abandoned, whilst Laser and Fresh both
He just abandoned the whole entire game, dude. He tried so hard. Oh, that's so awful, dude. That's so embarrassing for him.
stopped talking about it. This dropped the player base lower and lower, to the point of being unable to fill a single lobby, creating a brand new game-ending problem. No one plays this, it's all bots.
Like, okay, listen to me. If you have 10 total million viewers watching this game, there shouldn't be a point that 0 people play it. 10 million people saw your game. But if your game is poorly optimized, there's no objective, there's nothing to do after you get the best thing in the game, it's gonna die.
Every single lobby is just bots. Lobbies are entirely bots if you can connect to one.
Now, I'm not accusing them of putting fake players in the game, but like 90% of these people feel not real.
Each lobby needs at least 14 players.
Dude, if you can't get 14 players in your game, you have a problem.
Which the game rarely has at any one time. Therefore, in every single game, you're just versing 13 other bots who are so incredibly easy to beat, you can get hundreds of kills with just a couple deaths. My first game I got 185 kills, love it, against bots. These lobbies are so unchallenging that once you get world boss, you can just stand still and have the entire lobby spraying you without it barely having an impact on your health. The current state of the game is best summarized here. The so-called players are bots, and the game is way too easy, and it's pretty shit.
It sounds like Fortnite also. When Fortnite added bots, it actually ruined the game, dude. It's just like, this reminds me of something that like, it's like if I'm an influencer, I have 10 million people seeing this video game, right? He probably got like a 70%, you know, commission every single time people bought something. So if this game would have popped off, he would have made a ton of money, dude. So that's why he probably promoted it so much. He probably invested a lot of money also. But that's just so embarrassing, dude. If I'm going to promote something, if I ever get sponsors or anything, I'm going to promote something I actually care about. I'm not going to promote something that sucks, you know? That's just embarrassing. I don't know.